Hey friends, welcome back to a new Power BI video. And here I'd like to give you a little brief example on certain kinds of features you can implement in Power BI to bring your report to the next level. So here as an example, I used a specific format template, which I personally like concerning the colors. But of course, this often and probably most always depends on a corporate identity if you create the reports for your organization. So what's implemented in here? You see, by default, it looks like a classical Power BI report, just with different kinds of theme, right? So if you click, for instance, Barrett here, you see that the data filters what you expect. If you untick it, you see the normal data. Or if you click on one of the employees here, you also see that the data mode file changes. So that works fine. Beside this, there's only one specific icon here, which is this one. And if I hover over the icon, I can see here there's a show navigation option. So I can tick this in Power BI Desktop as long as I have not, published this to the Power BI server. I need to hold my control key to click it. But if you publish it to the cloud, to the Power BI service, or the report server, if you have the on-premise version, then of course there's no need to hold the control key and click it for the end users, the consumers of your report. So if I click on this, show navigation, you'll see that a new menu pops up at the side, which is this one here, which has various options like these. And here, if I hover over one, I also have this little, let's call it change of color, right? So if you hover over the icon like this, you can see that the color changes. And I would also implement this, of course, for the other buttons here as well. I haven't done it so far, but I just wanted to show you here this as an example. So one great thing which I came across, which I really like, is that sometimes people see your report, but maybe the report or the data in the report is not familiar for them, and they need to understand first what the report is actually showing. If this is the case, what you can implement is a kind of layer on top of your report. So as an example, if I hover, not only hover here, but I click on the help, I hold Control click, I'll see that a new hover appears here, and this gives me information about what each of the graphics is telling actually to the consumer. Of course, if you implement this in a report, it's probably better to write a little bit more for the text box, but again, it's just an example of what you can do, right? And as soon as I know, okay, now this is sales development, this is the employee contribution and so on, so far so good, I understand what this actually tells me, I can click then somewhere, anywhere on the screen, click on it, and you see that this window appears again, disappears again. So I really like this hovering effect, so I'll click this to understand better what actually is shown here. What else can we do? Well, if I click on or have an option here, hover over this, I can control click on this, and then here the ask question option appears, which is also available in Power BI. So if you want to use this feature, so then you could ask any kind of question. So for instance, sales by country like that, and you get here an overview of the bars and the country. And if you, for instance, say as map and specify also the type, you would also get the data shown as a map. So this is just the QA feature in Power BI, which is also quite neat and also helpful oftentimes to a lot of report consumers. So that's why I think this is also a great feature, and you can use this in your reports as well. So let me close this for now. Just an option that is available here. Beside this, we have additional bookmarks we can trigger. So if I hover over this, and you can see I can control click it here, and then the visuals here change, and this gives me additional information. For instance, here this neat little chart which shows me from here the sales for here in this case the two different kinds of regions, and also what kind of part those sales come from, considering the ship modes we have here, right? And this is just a little, information about actually most important things, which you can see here, but this time as a text. And here what I did actually was using this very neat visualization, which is this one, Smart Narrative, which is also Let's call it an AI feature, because what it actually does, it scans all the visualizations you have on the report page, and then it tries to actually write a little summary about what the data actually is showing. So this actually happens here. One thing I'd like to mention here with this is, of course, because the smart narrative first needs to scan the page and see all the visualizations you have, this sometimes can take a little bit of loading time. So there might be a little lag inside. Just keep this in mind if you use this feature. But this is available if I simply click on the bookmark options here. I can change this and I can give my end user additional information here. Click on it again and you'll see that now I have these information here. So really it's something which I personally also like a lot. Beside this, we have here an option. So if I go to the show filter option here, I can tick this. And here I have an additional filter menu, which is by default. Let me uncheck this again. Of course, it's not visible, but if I tick this option here, then I can make it visible. And then I have additional options to filter my data. For instance, please show me the data for 2018 and 2017 here. For those 2 years, hold my control key, select both of them. And then maybe I'd like to see also specific categories. Let's say I'd like to see the beverages, and I personally like cheese, so let's go with cheese. And then also say fish, maybe, right? So we have 3 categories, and you see that all the data is changing according to my selection in here. I can also do this for a region. If I take America here as an example, click this option, then I would also see my data only for America in this case. So if I now untick the height, or click on the height filters here, then of course my filters are hidden again, but still my data is filtered properly, right? And at the end, if the report consumer says, or he or she says, now okay, I've seen the data, but now I want to reset everything, I want to see the original view again, then all you need to do is you go to the home menu here, and you simply click on it, this option here, and you see that the data gets reset. I can see all the years, all the categories again, and also my menu also disappears. And I have my original view again. So these are all neat little features which you can implement in your report. Maybe there's something specific which might be helpful to you and interesting, and you think that this can actually create a little wow effect for your audience and help you then to create better reports. So that's it for this video. Just a little tour through this report as an example. And as always, hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you do, then please leave me a like. And also please subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more Power BI or Python or Tableau or any other kind of tool. Just let me know what you want to learn, and I will try my best to create videos for you. So that's it. Please leave your comments. Anything is always interesting and helpful. I promise I read it. Otherwise, please stay safe, take care of yourself and your family, and hopefully see you in the next video. Until then, best guys.